Okay, welcome to the next training video. In this one I'm going to show you how to use ClickFunnels and how quick and easy it is to set it up with ClickFunnels as well. Once again, we'll do the two pages. There's the opt-in page and the disclaimer page. Okay, very simple. Now all we need to do is we just need to come into your ClickFunnels account. So you log in and you'll obviously see this screen. Then we simply need to go ahead and click on Add New. So we're just going to click on Add New Funnel. Okay, so you can do this or you can create your own custom funnel, and I'm going to show you how to do a custom funnel because it's, basically we've only got like 2 pages. Very simple. So create a custom funnel. We'll give the funnel a name. I'm going to call it CIWB free. So that's cashing with being free. Okay. Now you can tag it. You can put it up against a particular tag. I'll put it on. Okay, that way you can find it. It's only for your personal. Only for your personal use later. Okay, and that's it. Now we click build funnel. Great, all right, that's it, done. So now we have an opt-in page. So we're going to leave our opt-in page here and we'll show you how to actually build that opt-in page. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to create add new step. So we want to do the disclaimer page first. Very simple. Click on add new step. Okay, we'll call this disclaimer, okay, just like we normally would, and we'll create funnel step. Okay, so now we have our disclaimer all ready to go, all the templates there ready to go. So now we need to choose a template. Now there's all different options: opt-in, sales, webinar, auto webinar, membership, affiliates, ClickPop, and miscellaneous. So when we're doing our opt-in template, we will actually use an opt-in template. At the moment we're going to use miscellaneous. Now you'll actually see if I go down the very bottom, makes it really easy. There is a basic disclaimer page. Okay, so it's all pretty much already done for you. So we're just going to click on that and then we're going to put our details in there. Very simple. Okay, that's as simple as it is. That's how quick program is. Now, what we need to do once that's done, there's a couple of things we'll need to change. As you can see here, it puts this lovely, horrible looking information at the back end of that. We don't want that. So we just want to edit the actual page name settings. So just click on that little wheel there. That's going to load up the page name settings, and we're going to grab this and delete the end of that. And we're just going to click on update. Okay, so now that's changed. I just added a 1 to the end because I'd already used the word disclaimer in one of my other pages. So we need to make sure you're not duplicating pages. So 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be. Very simple. Now to edit the page and actually make it so it's relevant, we need to click on the edit page button. That'll load up. It's loading up the actual editor. Now it takes a little bit of practice getting used to the editor, but it's quite easy to use. Now this I'm going to put last updated. We might edit that. Very simple. Just click on it and we'll go 2017. Okay, so we'll say that is it. Then we just click away from that and voila, there it is. So privacy policy and earnings disclaimer. So you can leave the privacy policy section in here if you wanted to, or you can simply edit that as well. So we're just going to have an earnings disclaimer. So I'm only going to use that. Very simple. Now in here, we just want to do what we did before. We just copy and paste our disclaimer that we created before. Just copy and paste that text. Obviously that's a link below the video, and the link below the video above as well, so you can get to that. Now I don't need all this extra stuff down the bottom, so I'm just going to hover over that, and you'll see a little delete box button. Click on that, and it's gone. Now in here, I just got to click in here, and now I can go ahead and edit this. So I'm just going to highlight all that. Then I'm going to go grab the actual disclaimer. So I'll go over to the page where I've got the disclaimer there. Okay, and I'm just going to copy that information again. Copy that, head back over to ClickFunnels. Simple enough, paste it in. Okay, so now I just need to space it out a little bit. Okay, so that's it. Your disclaimer page is done. So now you just click on outside the box and we click on save. Okay, you can preview if you want, but we just want to click on save. Voila, done. Now this pops up. This is for SEO. You don't need to worry about SEO. We don't really want these to turn up in any sort of a search engine at all. There's no real need. So you don't have to worry about clicking and setting up any of those things. Okay, so you just click away from that. Then now that it's saved, just double check it's saved. That's going to keep popping up. Fine. And you go over here to exit. Okay, and that's it. Done. So you click on exit. And that's your disclaimer page all finished and ready to go. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to create the actual opt-in page. It's so similar to Optimize Press, but a little bit easier, I find. So we just go to the actual page, the actual funnel. Okay, we click on that funnel there. Now that's going to allow us to edit that once we select one. Now With the opt-ins, there's so many different opt-ins. You can choose any of these wonderful, lovely templates if you would like. There are so many to choose from, and they're all extremely good. Okay, very, very good. Or you can simply start from a blank template. Now, because I'm going to actually start from a blank template, just to show you how it's all done, and that way you can see exactly how it's done if you were starting from scratch. Okay, so let me go down to the very bottom and use select template. Now, this is a blank template. You would probably use something else to make it quicker and easier for you, but I'm going to use this one. Exactly the same thing here. We need to change the name. Okay, so we've got opt-in. Okay, that's probably not a cool name. So what we're going to do is you want to click on edit funnel settings, and we're going to call it the path will be free report. Okay, update the funnel settings. Done. Now our URL is this. So now we just need to come down here and click edit page. Okay, we're going to load up the editor. Now, blank template, starter template for opt-in landing page. Okay, so what we can do here is we can either get rid of this. We don't need that unless you want to use a written headline. I'm going to use an image. Okay, very, very simple. So I'm going to actually hover on that. So I'm going to actually completely delete this whole process here. Okay, so now I've got a complete blank template to show you. So if I just click on add new row, okay, so similar to optimize press, we want to have a one column. You can have more, but I reckon one is fine. So now we've got a column. Now we need to add an element, similar to the optimize press. So click on add element, and you've got all these different options. Okay, lots of different options. What I'm going to use here is the image that I used before. So I'm going to click on image, and then we've got our image. So you click on the actual image box there, and then we need to go ahead and we actually need to go and upload our image. Very easy. So we don't need to worry about the alt text linking. We don't want any linking at all in this. We just need to click on this little box here. Okay, so now we've got all our different images that we want. So what we need to do is you need to actually, if you click on this here, so you can drag and drop as well. So if you don't want to drag your image in and drop it in there, that's fine. Or you can click to upload. Okay, so here's my image. This is the headline one. I'm just going to grab that, and that's starting to upload. Won't take a second, and it will upload, and then we can go add that to the page. Done. And you can see here, here's the image. So we just want to, you can click on that. It's already highlighted, and then we just click add image. That's it. It's done. Simple as that. Okay. Now, to keep things similar to the other one, we will go ahead and make it look like the other one. Okay. So I can show you. So now all we need to do is you'll see here we can add another section. Okay, we can add another row, okay, or we can actually completely add another element, okay, or we can just duplicate this element and use it again. So I'm just going to click on the plus, and we're going to add another element, okay. So the element that we want to add here, we'll go with the headline, and we'll use the headline that we created before, and then we've got our headline here, so we simply click on that, okay. Now if you don't want, if the size is no good, I'll put the actual headline in there first, and then I'll show you exactly what we've got. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little long, it's a little wrapped around there. I added in a little bit extra text than I did before. So what I might do is I might make this smaller, right? So it's very simple. If you wanted to underline things, bold things, so if I bolded it there, it's bolded. You can make it italics, you'll make sure it's centered, and you can even link that if you wanted to, but we don't need to. So all we're gonna do is click on the little wheel here, okay, and you'll see it's got font size, you've got the top margin. So we'll bring the margin down a bit so it's a little bit closer. Okay, just a touch more about there, and we'll bring the font size down, and you can actually see it changing as you're doing it. Okay, so we'll go about 26. That will work fine for me, and then we can actually change the text type. You can change every part of it, the color, everything. Okay, so I might make it even a little bit lighter. Go with something like that, and that's that. And then we can have opacity. You can change that, the text type, contact text, you have headline text, anything you would like. Okay, very, very easy to use. Now you can even select a different font. I might change there's so many fonts. I might change the font to be just, so I've just selected a font, very easy. I might even make it a slightly darker gray, there we go. And that's it, done. Okay, now this is going to be visible on mobile, desktop, absolutely everything. It's so easy to do. Now if you wanted to bold it and you want to make bolding colors different, you can click here and you can change the actual color. When you bold something, it's basically going to change that to whatever color you want. So I'm going to leave mine like that. It's nice and easy and simple. And I am going to reduce the top margin a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to click away. and I'm going to save it. It's clearly going to give me the SEO option again. I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so now we've got that. So now what we need to do is we need to add in another element. Okay, so you can either go and click here and add in an element, which I'll do, or you can add in a new row and start over. So the element we want is going to actually be an opt-in. We'll get the opt-in box. Okay, so you've got all these different options here, like I said before, and then over the side you've got different ones. You've got text, media, forms, content, countdown, and miscellaneous. We want a form, so we want to insert a form. Okay, so we got a button, input, select box, text area, SMS. So we're going to have one called input. Okay, so it's an input form. So I'm going to click on input form. Okay, then in here I'm going to actually edit that. Now, when we click on this, we go, because it's got warning, there's no actual type set. Okay, click on that, it's going to open this up. Now, top margin's fine. I'm going to go ahead and put email address. That's the only thing we want to collect. You can have as many of these as you like and collect name, first name, anything you'd like. But at the moment, we're just going to use email address. Then we've got placeholder here. Okay, so the placeholder text is your email address here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we can select a different font for that. Go with the same one we used before. Font size, you can make it as big or small as you'd like. Might leave it about there. Mobile size is fine as well. Okay, so once you've got that, easy enough, come over to themes and you can choose the different themes that you want. So the input, basic input, you can have a grey border input, light border, white border. So I might just change it to let's have a look. What's this one look like? Nah, don't like that. You can experiment with it. Okay, so we'll go back into that. Go into advanced. Now what you want to do is you can have a couple of different options. You've got font weight, so you can have bold or normal. I'm going to leave it on normal. Text align, very important. Center. Okay, corners, we'll make them nice and rounded, so about 10 I'll go for, or you can leave it on 5, whatever you like. Submit on enter. Okay, so yes, we want them to submit it on enter. So in other words, they would basically type in their email address, hit the enter button, and that also submits it. Background color, we can change the background color to be a different color if you want. We can have gray, we can have, let's have a look, black. No, don't like that. We can have light gradient. Okay, that's quite good. And you can have a medium gradient. Okay, so I'm going to go light gradient. I like that. Now you can have an icon. I like to have an email icon when we're collecting emails. So let's click on email. Then we go icon style. We can have white, black, whatever we like. I'm going to go with, we'll go with color. Let's see how that looks. And icon position, you can choose right or left. So I will leave it on right. And that's it there. Now you can even have animations. Okay, so you can have a delay and you can have an animation. Now I don't need that at all right now. And we just double check our settings are perfect, and they are. Okay, so now all we need to do is click outside the box. Okay, and then we go and click on save. Okay, now one thing you can do, because what we've done here is we've created a row, and the row is this wide. Now I don't like the fact that the opt-in box is that wide. It's probably not needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and create a new row. One column row, it's building the row, and then I'm going to edit this row. Okay, now I want the width of this row to be a lot smaller. Let's say about here. It's about a good size. And then I will leave that as it is, come back out of it, and then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to drag it and put it in that new box. Now you see it's a little bit far apart, so we can click on the settings again, and we've got paddings. Now with our padding, in other words the top padding is the one we want to change, so we're going to bring it back up. Okay, we want it about there, and I'm going to put that proof below it, so I might bring the bottom one up a bit, and we are going to make it about that wide, I believe would be the go. Text color, everything is just leave it as is. You don't need to worry about that. You've got top margin, and you can change that as well. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on 0 because I want it up as high as I can. So now I'm going to click on out of that, and I'm going to do the same with this one here. So I'm actually going to change the settings on this one, and I'm going to make the bottom padding a little bit less to even bring that up a bit further. So as you can see, there it is. Very, very simple. So now I might even want to make this stand out a little bit more with some colors, and you can do that as well. It's very, very easy. And I've got my little email icon that's going to pop up there, which does make it fairly obvious. Okay, so once I've got to that point, I'm going to save it. Okay, very simple. And then what I want to do is I want to add in another element. So I'm going to actually create a new row because I want a wider row. Okay, it's building the row for me, and now it's full width. I'm going to add in an image, so add an element, and then we got all these different ones again. I'm going to collect an image again, click on that, and then I'm going to upload another image. Click on upload, and then I'm going to get the actual proof that I had before, uploading that, and there is the proof. Okay, so there it is there. So now I'm going to add that image, and as you can see, there it is there. Okay, so as you can probably imagine, we missed out on one thing. We missed out on that little headline, okay, or that title. Okay, so I'm going to add in that one there, add in a new element. I'll put in basic headline. Okay, so with this, I might want to just go ahead and change the size of that. So I'll just click on this little settings button there. I can change the text color if I would like to, and I might change the bold color. So I'll pick a deep red, I think is the go, something like that. And the font size, I'm going to reduce the font size. Okay, and I might even change the wording. I'm not happy with that wording. I'll just change the wording real quick. Okay, so here's the income you can and will be earning using these methods. Okay, the bolding works. So we'll bold that, and that will make it red. As you can see, will be earning using these methods. Okay, so we'll go bold with that, and that will make that look beautiful as well. Alright, now as you can clearly see, this is in the wrong spot. So what I want to do is I want to click this arrow, and it's going to move it above the other option. Okay, so you can see now it's above. Now I think there's a bit too much of a gap there, so I'm going to click on the settings page, and we'll go down the bottom, and the top padding, we'll reduce that right down. Okay, and we'll click out there, and we'll do the same over here in the blue option, and we'll come down, we'll go bottom padding, we'll bring that right up to about there. Now I might want to actually add in a little line above this, so I might do that as well. So I might add in another element, and then you've got all these other options like I said. Okay, so I'll go down and look for one that's going to work for me. There it is, a divider. Okay, so there's my divider, and I want to actually move that divider to about there, right? Okay, so then I'll do the same thing here. We want to make the top padding a little less, just a little bit less. So it's there, that's that. Now I'm going to save it again just to make sure you're constantly saving your progress. Okay, and then the last thing, the page is done. So the last thing I need to add in is clearly the disclaimer down the bottom. So in the bottom here, I'm going to just add another element. Okay, so I'm going to add an element in here, and then there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can just add in a text, or you can add in a navigation link. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on navigation link. Okay, so in here you've got these different links. Okay, so I'm just going to edit that, and I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'm going to get rid of order now, and in the pricing one I'll leave that, but I'm going to change it to disclaimer. And then in the disclaimer URL, I'm going to actually change that to the actual URL that we've got. Okay, link URL will be the actual URL for our disclaimer. That's it. Now it's all done. It's absolutely finished. Now the only thing we need to do is add in our get response integration again, add in our actual web form. Now there's a couple of ways to do this once again, and I'll show you. Up the top here you got settings, okay, and you got integration. So we want to click on integration, okay, and now it says not connected. Now you've got options here. Okay, so there's the HTML form way. You've got get response, Aweber, or null Actionetics. Actionetics, you have to own that part of it. So it will go with this one because this will work for Aweber or get response. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. So click on null form, then the action is going to be integrate existing form, add HTML code below. Right, very simple. Now in here is where we're going to put our code. Now to grab our code, all we do is we go over to get response or Aweber. We go to, make sure you go to your dashboard. Now you make sure up here that you're working in the correct list. I'm going to click on create form. I just need a plain HTML form because we just need the HTML code, and the campaign, we want to make sure it's in the right campaign. So the one that we're using with, we want to add to the cycle on day 0. So they'll get the very first email. You don't have to worry about the button value or anything like that. We don't have to worry about any of this stuff here other than this. So we're going to have a custom thank you page. Now the thank you page will be the link, okay, it will be your link to go to the actual our next page, which is going to be a thank you page or a download page. But for now we don't actually have that just yet. We can actually I'll know the name of it, what I'm going to call it, so it's easy enough, and it will be, it's going to be the same as this, except I'm going to give it a different name. So I'll go back over to get response, okay, and I'll go to the end and I'm going to call it thank you, okay, because that is what I'm going to name the page when I create the thank you page, which is where they download their free gift and where we promote something from there as well. Okay, so then we just click on the outside of that, that's in there. Clearly if they were to opt in now, there is no thank you page just yet, because we're doing that next in the next step, and then we'll make that will all work and work perfectly fine. So you want to make sure you click on the outside of here, go over here, you can copy code if you want that button, or copy like normal. Then we're going to head back over, and now we're going to go back into integrations. Okay, we've got null, we've got integrated existing form. We want to paste that code in there. Very simple. We want to pass and save the web form. Okay, now that's all done. Now it says it's not synced, so we want to make sure we actually sync it in. So we want to click on email. We want to sync in our email. Done. Simple as that. Now it says connected. Okay, very easy. So click on the outside of that, click save, click exit, and now our page is completely finished. Okay, so there it is. Now if I was to add my email address in there, that would clearly go ahead. I'll show you. Okay, so if I put in an email address, that would go ahead and send us to a thank you page, which doesn't currently exist, but it will, and that is going to add that subscriber to your GetResponse account. So that is the basics of doing it with ClickFunnels. It's very easy. I mean, you can pretty things up. I'll probably pretty up this line here, make it a little bit better, a little jazzier, make it stand out a little bit more. I might bold a couple of the actual things I want them to do, and that's it. Your ClickFunnels opt-in page is finished and done. Everything is integrated, absolutely ready to go. So now move on to the next video. If you're thinking of using the free version to start off with, it's the free plugin that we offer, go ahead and look at the next video. Like I said, ClickFunnels is by far the best. So if you can get that, go ahead and grab it. If you can't, start off with the free WordPress plugin that we've provided, and then move on and get ClickFunnels down the track. All right, I'll see you in the next training video.